So the semi-finals of the Cape Town Sevens are just around the corner. In this contest, Fiji versus Argentina. And on the other side of the draw, it is South Africa, the host nation, going head-to-head with the French. And in this preview, we'll be looking through at the previous results for Argentina and Fiji throughout this competition, the players to keep an eye out for, and then also at the end, a prediction who I think will win this contest. But jumping straight into it, for the Fijians, they are very similar to Argentina in terms of the points that they have received throughout the group stage. Both of these sides having 2 wins and the 1 loss. For the Fijians, it was at the start of their Cape Town Sevens campaign that didn't quite turn out the way that they would have liked. 24 points to 21 loss to the South Africans. Now, Fiji seemed in control for a majority of that match, but the blitz box in front of the home crowd just dug that little bit deeper near the end of the fixture, managed to pull off the victory in their second game. GB were the opposition for the Fijians, winning that game 21 points to 17 in favour of Fiji. And then their last game, it was a must-win up against New Zealand. Whoever won that game was moving on to the semi-finals. And not only did Fiji win, but they did win in dominant fashion. 35 points to 5. It's got to be the most one-sided affair we've seen between Fiji and New Zealand in quite some time, but there was pretty much no point throughout that fixture that it didn't look like Fiji were the better side out there on the field. For the Argentines, they started off in emphatic fashion for this Cape Town Sevens campaign, beating the Australians, the side that did get runner-up in Dubai, 36 points to 0. So an absolute dream start for the Argentines there. Their next match was up against the French. They were able to beat France 24 points to 19, and that was a very substantial win for the Argentines, particularly because of what we saw last week when the two sides went head-to-head. France almost beat the Pumas by 50 points. So to have such a quick turnaround and go from having a couple big losses in Dubai to now getting 2 big wins under the belt early, certainly building confidence for the Pumas. In this campaign, their last game up against the Spanish, that one did not go to plan, losing it 31 points to 26. Like I mentioned, these two sides, both 2 wins, 1 loss in their group stages, but now they go head-to-head with each other in the first of the semi-finals. And this match, it is one that we've actually seen just recently. In the Dubai Sevens, Fiji able to win up against Argentina, 26 points to 19. So normally when these two sides play, it is close, but then the same can be said about Fiji versus New Zealand. So it's very hard to tell what kind of Fiji side we're going to see heading into this contest. But looking through at those most recent fixtures for Fiji, they were able to score themselves the 5 tries up against New Zealand. Once again, very successful in adding the additional 2 each time they score. I think that Fiji have to be right up there in terms of percentage of kicks going over throughout this campaign so far. But Vuiviwa Nadovalo, he has been absolutely insane the way that he's been scoring tries for Fiji. He got himself the double in that last match up against the Kiwis. Also, Filippo Bukiaro able to score in the 9th minute. And then Tario Vailawa, they actually switched him back to off of the bench rather than in the starting side. He came on and made a real impact, scoring himself the 2 tries. In the losing effort for Argentina in their most recent game, we saw the double from Luciano Gonzalez. Marcos Moneta got himself 1, and then also the try last minute for Morales. But it is quite interesting watching the back and forth between Luciano Gonzalez and Marcos Moneta in terms of trying to catch up to the all-time leading try scorer for the Argentines. Those two are neck and neck at the moment, so whoever has the better semi-final, as well as either the bronze medal final or the gold medal final, could be 1 or 2 tries ahead of their counterpart heading into the next leg of the Sevens circuit. But overall, even in a losing effort, the fact that Argentina were able to score themselves the 26 points. Now, I should also mention they were able to score more points in the second half than Spain. It was just the fact that they did start extremely slow. 2 quick-fire tries for Jeremy Trevor-Thick, who actually went on to get himself the hat-trick by the 10th minute of that contest. So, of course, Argentina will want to try and avoid that kind of brilliance from this Fijian side. And to be fair, if anyone is going to do it, it would be Vuiviwa Nadovalo with how he is playing. But jumping into the prediction, that game between New Zealand and Fiji, I thought would be low scoring and close. It was the complete opposite, although it was low scoring for New Zealand, but Fiji able to get themselves the 5 tries. Argentina, even with that loss, they have been extremely clinical in terms of the amount of tries that they have scored. They've racked up a total of 86 points throughout their first 3 games, whereas for the Fijians, they have managed to bring up 77 points. Now, you could argue that South Africa, Great Britain and New Zealand, you could say that they are slightly more difficult in terms of the opposition level, but that is still pretty even between these two sides. The Pumas are due for a big win, definitely with the fact that they finished dead last in the last competition in Dubai. But I just feel like Fiji are motoring at the moment, and after being able to get that massive win over New Zealand, they will go into this game with such high confidence. They want a rematch up against South Africa, as they were defeated by just the 3 points in the pool stage fixtures. They went head-to-head with France last week, so they know that they can beat them, as they were able to get the bronze medal in that third place playoff match up against Les Bleus. So I don't think Fiji will mind who they play, but their big goal will be to win this match. And of course, Argentina, they are in the same boat. I'm going a close game. I'm going to go 26 points to 24, and I'm going to go in favour of Fiji, only because of the way that we've seen them kicking throughout these matches. It has been absolutely phenomenal in terms of the amount of tries that they've been able to turn into 7 points rather than the 5. And this type of matchup, with this type of pressure, that is exactly what you want from these world-class sides. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. This game will be kicking off at 11:44 p.m. New Zealand time. That is on Sunday night. Whoever wins this contest will advance to take on the winner of France versus South Africa. At the moment, the Blitzboks, they are looking extremely strong in this competition. The only side that are undefeated, and if it's anything like Dubai last week, the only undefeated side throughout the whole competition was New Zealand, and they went on to win the whole thing. So South Africa, in front of the home crowd, they are certainly sitting in the box seat at this point in time. But whoever wins this game, of course, booking themselves a spot in the final. That is kicking off at 3:43 a.m. Fijian time. To anyone who is staying up for the late night, not only will you get that first match for the Fijians up against the Argentines, but either that third place game or the final around the corner as well. But of course, do let me know in the comments who you think will be winning this game, as well as the key players for both of these sides. Honestly, the list is a mile long of the guys that could step up, whether that's a Talatholo for the Argentines. They have got so many great players, Graziano being one who didn't score in that last match up against the Spanish, but can certainly make a difference out there on the park. Santiago Mari, the captain for the Pumas as well. So many moving pieces that are all crucial for the outcome of this contest. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to tune in for that commentary on the channel as well. And I will see you all for the next one.